Hi, welcome back to the adventure game. And this time, let's see, we're going to add yet another new feature. So we've got the basics. We have a thing we want to find, we can navigate around, we get confined to the room. So far, so good. But let's start to make it a little bit more interesting. We haven't really done too much with the descriptive text in the game, and mentioned it would be kind of cool to have some sort of manageable resource. All right, so you can use your imagination in this. I like to talk about, doing something with a kind of a toggle action button or something like that. Um, so let's do sort of a simple version of it first. All right, so let's add a UI element. We're going to just add another button for now. All right, we'll do it this way. Toggles are fancier, but we'll do it with a button. All right. And the button is going to be the button's going to be something that says, well, if you press the button, you're going to do some sort of ping, some sort of thing that will show you what's in the room. So it'll update the text up here and say, what's going on in the room, right? So you can get a sense for where the goal is. All right, so let's do that. And let's also put in something that is a bit of text that says how many moves you've made, right? So let's do that. Let's say, all right, UI text. And we'll put this one, say, down. Actually, you know what? Let's change this interface around a little bit. I think this would be way better to do this. I think we should say, all right, go south, go north, and let's have our button in the middle of that. Our action button should be right in the middle of that. That makes perfect sense, right? To have our action button, say, here. That makes sense. We'll put it there. It's slightly different in size. And let's see, our text over here, well, let's just put our text down at the bottom anyway. It's just going to be sort of a message. Let's see, text, let's center that and center that as well. And we'll call this text button. We're just going to call it some kind of score something. I don't know. It'll be moves. And the button in the middle, I keep trying to press the game thing. The button in the middle, we're going to call ping. Or maybe flash. Right? So we're going to set off a flash when that gets pressed. So we'll change the text on the button to say flash. Okay, and that's all good. So every time we press flash, we're going to tell the user something about the environment, something interesting. All right, this is sounding like something interesting. So go to the main script, and we'll see that we need to add a function. Remember, we had our move player function. So let's have another function, which is going to be down here, our method. And we're going to void flash. We'll call it. And we don't know exactly what we're going to do yet, but it's going to be flash. And we also want it to be public so that our other functions can potentially see it. Whoops, you know what? That's not inside the function. I'm wondering why those red squiggles are there. That's actually was accidentally inside the function, not inside the class. So something to fix. All right, public void flash. So let's see. Want to tell the player something. Now notice up here, every time the player moved, we just said, you found goal at, and find the goal at, and it is dark, and so on. You hit a wall. So briefly, momentarily, let's assume we're going to update that text with something important. So we're going to copy this part where it said, you moved, but it is dark. All right. And we're going to put, you set off your camera flash. And then for now, we'll say, but see nothing. Oops. But see nothing. So let's hit save. Let's go back to our game. And let's now attach the flash button. Right? Attach the flash buttons, click to that function. So let's hit the target, go to scene, and we want to go to, let's see, it is the main. That's where all of our functionality is kept. Main script flash. Okay. So let's play the game. Welcome to the game. You need to find an object to win, but it is dark. Move. You moved, but it is dark. All right. Flash. You set off your camera flash, but see nothing. All right. Colder, warmer, flash. You set off your camera flash, but see nothing. So nothing really exciting happened as a result of that. But let's do something more interesting with that. All right. So let's stop playing and go to our main routine again. And we'll always go main and main script. All right, so what do we want to do here? We want to tell the player something about what they see. All right. So we could say, let's see, the important stuff we're always thinking about is that relationship with the player and the goal. So let's do something. Let's say, all right, let me create a vector which is going to be the offset to goal, right? This is going to be the offset from the player to the goal. So I can say offset to goal equals, and it's going to be what? We wanted to point at the goal, so we say goal 1 position minus what? The player's position. That tells me what the relationship between the two is. And one of the things I can immediately do is say, well, I can check offset to goal dot magnitude. That'll tell me the length of that vector, right? Which is the same as the distance between these two things, for example, right? The length of the vector. All right. Important thing to know. I could say, all right, one thing, I could just say something simple. If offset to goal magnitude is less than some proximity, maybe 4, we would say something versus our other statement, which is just you set off your flash but see nothing. Instead, let's say something up here, and we're going to use this again. Copy that, put that up here, and let's figure out what we want to say. First off, the simplest thing would say, you set off your camera flash and are near the goal. All right. So let's see. Let's try that now. And we'll go back to our game. And we'll press play. And we know the goal is at what? -6, -6, or -5, -5. So let's move down. We're kind of cheating here, I know. We're close, and we're going to say flash. You set off the camera flash and are near the goal. Let's move to the north, so we're farther away. We're a total of, way out here, we hit flash. You set off your camera flash, but see nothing. All right, we continue. Okay, like a warmer, warmer, warmer. Let's see, flash. You set off the camera flash and are near the goal. Whoop. I don't know if you heard that. Someone is at my front door. So now we have the flash telling us if we're near the goal or not, which is interesting, but maybe not the most exciting thing in the world. So let's make it a little bit more specific. Being just near the goal isn't good enough. All right. We want to give them, if they're actually near the goal, let's give them some chance of doing something. Whoops. Of doing something as a result. So let's say, first off, stop playing the game. And we're going to say, all right, from this, we know, is it positive? Is it negative? Is it, what can we do with that? Now, let's see, do I have that? Nope, that's, okay. I'm going to cut and paste a bit of code here because I don't want to kind of go through the whole thing. So let's look at what this does. All right. So let's go back to our main script. And this is the bit of code I want to use. So here, let's get rid of that version. Or, well, let's put this code in here. What I want to do is I want to tell them, is it north, is it south, is it east, is it west of them? All right. So maybe we'll do this. We'll do this by scratch. We'll do this by hand. All right. All right. So what we want to do is we want to say main text. And this is, to type in text, this is what we do. We're to print out text, I should say. This is what we're doing here. We're adding to that. Plus equals something. You are near the goal. And what do I want to say? Well, maybe I want to say north. Or I want to say, I'm going to put my things I might say here, south, east, or west. East or west. Now, if I just did that, it's going to say north, south, east, west. It's going to print those all together. But what I want to do is put some conditionals in here saying if, and I can look at the components of my offset to goal. If offset to goal dot x is greater than 0, that means I need to move 1 in order to get to the goal in the x direction. Now, x is normally our east and west, so let's move it down here. And I say, okay, if I need to move in the positive x direction, that means I need to move to the east. Right? Else, if offset to goal dot x is less than 0, I need to move to the west. All right. So let's do the same sort of thing for north and south. If I know that offset to goal y is greater than 0, I tell the player that it's to the north. Else, put this here. Else, if offset to goal y is less than 0, I'm going to add to the south. All right. And I could put a little extra text here to the, and put a carriage return. You set off your camera flash and are near the goal to the, and this part will say, well, okay, if my offset in y is greater than 0, go to the north. If my offset in y is less than 0, I need to go to the south, and so on. So let's try that. All right, let's play the game. And I hit the flash, hit the camera flash, but I see nothing. So let's move around a little bit. Warmer, warmer. All right, flash. Ah, you set off the camera flash and are near the goal to the southwest. All right, so I'm going to go west, west, west. Warmer, warmer. Hit the flash again. Oh, you set off your camera flash and are near goal to the south. So I can say go south. You found the goal. All right. So I use the flash to be able to tell what direction to really go in. So let's add some things to make it more interesting. So turn this off, and now the flash, you can use the flash infinitely. And that's not necessarily perfect. So let's say maybe the flash can only be used a certain number of times. So let's have a bit of text. We have this score text, and we have the flash button. So let's see. We could change the text actually on the flash button if we wanted, or we could just have some different text. So let's just do the easy way. I'll leave it to you to figure out if you want to get fancy. We're going to do it the easy way and have another text field over here, and we're going to call this one flashes remaining. Okay, flashes remaining. And we're going to say that the text on that is going to start off, we'll say, all right, 5 flashes remain. Okay. So now the question is, every time we hit flash, we want to subtract from that. And we just arbitrarily put 5 there. So we need to implement that in our code. So let's go here and say, all right, first off, we had number of flashes remaining. Let's keep track of that. Let's come up here, and we will expose that to the Unity interface. We'll say public int flashes remaining equals 5. Okay. And every time we press flash, we know we want to subtract 1 from the number of flashes remaining. So let's first off in here, first thing to do in flash is we say flashes remaining minus minus. And what we could do, well, first off, before we even subtract that, we shouldn't be able to subtract from flashes remaining if there are no flashes remaining. So let's say if flashes remaining equals 0, we have some special consideration here. Here we want to say, and I'm just going to cut and paste this because pasting. Okay. We would say you have no more flashes left, or you have no flashes left. And what would you do then? We would say return. So if we have no flashes remaining, we're not allowed to do the rest. If we are allowed to do the rest, we subtract from the number of flashes and we continue on. So the one other bit we need to do is we need to tell the player how many flashes they have remaining. So let's come up here, and we had, where are we? Our game objects, and we want to have flash text. Not test. Text, flash text. And the place we're going to update flash text is every time we use the flash here, we should say something about that, right? So we would say flash text dot get component text dot text equals, and we want to tell it how many flashes are remaining. So we say flashes remaining dot to string plus remaining, or remaining, and put a semicolon. Oh, this is a method or a function, so we need to do that. So now, if we come over here and we play, we can move around, and let's use the flash. All right. Nothing happened. Oh, I used up all my flashes, but I never saw anything. Oh, let's see. I forgot. Let's see. Did I just not play it right? Flash. Nothing happened. Flash. Nothing happened. Why did that, what's the problem here? Well, here's the problem. Unassigned reference exception. The variable flash text of main script has not been assigned. All right. Rookie mistake. In this one, I have been actually assigning all of these things directly in the code. And this time I didn't. So for now, let's just do this. Let's say flash text there. Now I've explicitly said what flash text is. So message of the day, make sure you double check in your console window to see what's going on. Now let's play again. Hopefully this time it will work. So you'll notice it filled in the other ones. So I could say go north, but it's dark. Flash. You set off your camera flash but see nothing. 4 remaining. Go west. A little warmer. Flash. You set off your camera flash but see nothing. 3 remaining. All right, go west, go west. Flash. Oh, you set off your camera flash and are near the goal to the southeast. South. I hit flash again. Still southeast. Go south. Flash. It's to the east, but I have no more remaining flashes. Go south. You moved, but it's dark. Flash. You have no flashes left. Oh no, and I'm getting colder. So now pay attention to this one. Go west. Same. Go north. Warmer. Colder. Go south. Go west. Warmer. I can try that. I can go east or west. Oh, I found the goal at 5, -5, -5. With no flashes remaining. Now, it's probably a good idea to put a little space in there. I could do that. So let's do that. Here we go. All right. And you know what? It might be a good idea. Rather than rely on that initial message, I'm going to set up this message in my start. It's a good idea to have that right in my start. So I could even now, remember, now that since I did that before, I could say in here, what's the name? It is called flashes remaining. So now I'm making sure I don't have that problem that I just did. Flashes remaining is set, and I print that out. Let's also show the score, after all. So what's the score? The score is going to be something simple for now. We're just going to use score. We're going to say the score starts off being 0, and it's just going to be the number of moves you make. All right. And you want to minimize your score. So everything, let's see, everything should count as a something that's going to change the score. So when the player moves, whenever the player makes a move, we want to say score ++. And if they moved, we want to update that score text. So let's go through the whole thing again. And we're going to say, all right, well, we need score text up here. All right. We'll go through this same process here. Make sure that, oh, that was almost a bug there. So that should have been flash text, lowercase, flash text. And this one is going to be score text. And its name is score. What should score contain? Well, just like flash text, I'm going to say score text equals, and what I'm going to put there, I'm going to put the score there. Score, and put moves. All right. And every time the player moves, you're going to remember, every time score changes, we're going to go down here and we're going to do that, update that score counter. All right. And we're going to penalize the user, penalize the player every time they use the flash. So we're going to say, okay, if you use the flash, I'm going to say score plus equals 5. And I'm going to be really mean to the user and say, well, if you try to use the flash when you have no flashes remaining, that's going to cost you 10. All right, so I should tell these rules somewhere. That would be a good thing. But now we do have some sort of scoring going on, right? So the number of moves you take, you want to minimize the number of moves you take. So minimize the moves, minimize the number of times you use the flash, and make sure you never use the flash or try to use the flash when you have no flashes left. We have a real scoring system here. Okay. 5 remaining flashes, 0 moves taken. Welcome to the game. Go north. 1 move, 2 moves, 3 moves, 4 moves. Let's hit the flash. Ooh, okay. Cost me 5 moves there, so I get to 9. So I see nothing. I'm warmer though. Let's see. I'm gonna move around in the dark here a little bit. Now, warmer and colder is pretty much a guaranteed thing. Southwest. All right. South, south, south. Nope. Flash. Up, northwest. Go west. Go north. You found the goal and 33 moves. Pretty cool. All right. So we have a resource that we're managing. We're not using a toggle button. You can use the toggle button if you want to get fancier and disable and enable the toggle button so you can actually leave, instead of a flash, have a flashlight. So if you're feeling more advanced and you followed along in class, you can go ahead and do that. But here's a version where, you have something that's going to help, and you're going to keep track of the number of things you have and change potentially how the game plays depending on whether or not you run out of flash use. Okay. So hopefully that's helpful.